All right, good evening again. It is my pleasure to be here with you all tonight. Today I will be sharing a bit about my experience as a student at MELS, a partnered school with NYC Outward Bound. For those of you that have gone rock climbing, you know that before anything else, you need to put on a harness. Now, for most of us, that harness doesn't make us feel much safer when we're 30 feet in the air. But the beauty of a harness is that it allows us to take a leap of faith without the risk usually involved. Regardless of if you flail or scream or are so unbalanced that you start breakdancing, as I often do, the sturdy harness will always keep us from plummeting down. NYC Outward Bound School's role in my education has been like a metaphorical rock climb. Before and during the climb, NYC Outward Bound serves as the harness by providing the educational resources and project-based curriculum for us to succeed. NYC Outward Bound explains where to put our hands and feet at the ascent by guiding us through confusing processes like college applications, and finally encourages us to reach for that next rock when we're struggling by pushing us outside our comfort zone. NYC Outward Bound helps us to get through the climb of education. It attempts to bridge the gap created by learning difficulties, language barriers, and lack of resources or support by helping our teachers construct lessons that we as students can connect with and feel more interested in learning. In 6th grade, we learned about ecosystems by identifying and treating invasive species in the park next to our school. We learned the impacts of westward expansion through the narratives of enslaved and indigenous people at the time, rather than the ordinary textbook definition. We cemented our ideas of the law of conservation in chemistry by evaluating how pharmaceutical drugs work in our bodies. MELS taught us to think critically about situations, question others' authority, and advocate for topics we care about. NYC Outward Bound schools have these practices and values ingrained in their classrooms to provide us with the educational baseline necessary to succeed. NYC Outward Bound serves as the safety net for students. But there are always times when students do not know how to proceed. In the case of rock climbing, at times your proximity to the wall makes it hard to see what rock to grab onto next. Yet, the distance of those standing on the floor below you, the Outward Bound staff member holding the rope, and your crew cheering you on, provides a wider perspective to help you out. As I began college applications this year, I found the whole process extremely anxiety-inducing. With parents who did not go to college in this country, and as their first child, I did not know how the system worked. While it was great to talk about colleges with many people, I soon began to be muddied by all the options and opinions. I reached a point in the wall where I grew more anxious as my arms and legs cramped from holding that position of uncertainty. But my college counselor and some of my closest teachers helped me find stability in making my choice. They would check in with me almost weekly, assist with applications, and give me advice for how to manage the pressure that I felt. Once the final selection came, rather than giving me her opinion, my college counselor helped me make the right decision for me, not for anyone else. Thinking about the future, and change in general, scares me just as much as the notion of looking down when you're high up on a rock climbing wall. I avoided the topic at all costs, rather than facing the conversations and decisions I needed to make. But my teachers encouraged and supported me on the right path. It was out of my comfort zone, but it was something that I needed to do. Pushing students to step outside of their comfort zones does not just happen. NYC Outward Bound pushes everyone beyond their limits in a safe and attainable way. Our schools encourage us to rely on the fact that we are wearing the NYC Outward Bound harness to try new things and take chances. With NYC Outward Bound's harness, guidance, and encouragement, I was able to have a successful and memorable high school experience I will never forget. Next fall, I will be going to Macaulay Honors College on a full-ride scholarship on a pre-med track in hopes of serving the Latino community in the future. NYC Outward Bound's rock climbing set me up for the climb of a lifetime. Thank you.